Hey guys, tonight we're diving into one of the quirkiest, slightly terrifying roles from history, the medieval plague doctor. Imagine it's late, your room is cozy, and you've got that familiar hum of your fridge making a lullaby in the background. Your toes are tucked under a blanket, and maybe there's a sleepy dog curled up at your feet. It's that perfect kind of chill that almost tricks you into believing you're in the quiet yet bustling streets of 14th century Europe. But don't worry, you're not slipping into the past. You're just listening to its stories. You probably won't survive this without a few chuckles along the way. Though maybe it's just the echo of ancient chaos finding its way through. Before you get too comfy, feel free to tap like or subscribe, but only if you're genuinely enjoying the calm around here. Tell me where you're listening from and what time it is over there. I love seeing how far this sleepy little journey reaches. Now, go ahead and lower the lights, maybe let a fan hum in the background, and let's drift gently into tonight's story together. You slowly blink awake, not to your phone's overly chipper morning alert, but to the solemn chime of church bells echoing through the narrow cobbled streets. It's 1348, and the air feels thick, a little too sticky, like overstayed summer warmth with a side of ominous mystery. You stretch, reluctantly swapping your fuzzy PJs for the cumbersome attire of the day. Instead of a cute beanie, you've got a more unique headpiece, the oh-so-distinctive bird-like mask of a plague doctor. Nowadays, if someone showed up in this bird mask, people might just assume it's the next viral TikTok trend. But back then, this gear meant serious business, or at least an attempt at it. You shuffle down from the wooden steps of your simple abode, which, admittedly, lacks the charm of a morning espresso machine. The streets hum with a different energy, one of palpable unease. The only notifications bombarding you now come from the urgent whispers and frantic scuttling of the townsfolk. It's a world sans memes, where storytelling lives in the vibrant and often dramatic exchanges between neighbors, each tale more baffling than the last. And here you are, in the thick of it, a lone ranger of the medieval medical scene, donning waxed fabric robes as armor against an invisible enemy. Talk about taking dress code seriously. The mask, cumbersome, surreal, filled with fragrant botanicals, oddly feels comforting as you head to your first appointment, if you could call it that. Historians still argue whether these aromatic concoctions were genuinely believed to fend off the plague, or were just a medieval version of hitting pause and pretending the chaos would update when you reopened the app. Honestly, it's not the worst way to start a day, if you ignore the pandemic part. But even in these moments of quiet introspection, wherein the plague is more presence than phantom, you find snippets of absurdity that give life a surreal twist. Like when you almost trip and realize the cobblestone betrayed you, momentarily convincing you it was personal. Proof medieval city planning didn't always consider distracted foot traffic. Sound familiar? As you weave through the city, each alleyway feels like it harbors a secret, wrapped in anxious whispers. Modern-day parallels are uncanny. Like scrolling mid-drama series spoilers, your curiosity piqued, yet wary of learning too much. The atmosphere is filled with both dread and odd mirth. After all, laughter often follows the bleakest moments, like a shadow reluctant to break its bond. You approach each doorstep with a sense of valor you weren't quite sure you possessed. Today might surprise you. It frequently does in medieval times, especially when people describe their ailments in vivid theatrics that rival a Shakespearean tragedy. And so, You embark on your rounds, peering through that eerie mask at a world clouded in both fear and peculiar resolve. At least it protects you a little, like when you put on AirPods, just to avoid awkward small talk. The scents within the beak, an olfactory kaleidoscope, lavender, rose petals, and mint, attempt to mask the pungent reality outside. A reality where historians puzzle over whether doctors of your kind helped or hindered, yet you're here trying nonetheless, wielding sage advice mixed with herbal lore, and the faintest hope that someday it'll be more than just a medieval vibe check. With your concoctions in tow, you take on the day one medieval footstep at a time, fully equipped to face whatever waiting stories unfold over the horizon. It's a different kind of daily challenge when your inbox looks more like a line of people with peculiar symptoms rather than unread emails. But you navigate through, smiling. Well, you would if they could see your face beneath the mask, hoping to spread a little less fear and a bit more comfort. Because, truth be told, that's all one can really hope for here, in a world that often feels like its own strange little tale, rewritten with every sunrise. You step into the swirling buzz of the market square, where chatter hangs thick in the air like mist. It's as if each person's tale folds into a great quilt of collective confusion. It's almost comforting in its cacophony, like walking into a group chat where notifications are going off like popcorn in a microwave. The first patient to cross your path is a burly merchant, his arms flailing to grab your attention, like a kid in the back row of class, desperate to share a story completely unrelated to the lesson. He lists his symptoms faster than you can mentally note them. Headaches easily mistaken for the morning after blues. Bizarre dreams that we might now scroll through in a sleep tracker app. And fatigue more persistent than an early morning snooze alarm. As you listen, nodding in quiet acknowledgement, there's a subtle dance playing out. A blend of genuine concern, showmanship, and, perhaps, a touch of you might be overreacting. But you smile, again unseen behind the mask, and offer your best advice, including a strange-sounding mixture of herbs you would prescribe, like a modern-day influencer might peddle celery juice as a cure-all. You hand him a concoction of sage, honey, and a few other bits harvested with earnest zeal from nature's pantry, each ingredient wrapped up in a quaint little pouch. You can almost imagine a future where holistic treatments get repackaged with fancy labels and perhaps a touch of jasmine for flair. Yet, here, each element feels purposeful, essential, as if you hold the only tangible magic in a deeply unpredictable world. Your presence hums with the serene confidence of a sleepy friend, answering late-night existential queries with a simple, "Yep, we've got this," while hiding the unease that thrums beneath. You're the medieval equivalent of binge-watching cleaning videos, calming in appearance, absurd in execution, but undeniably satisfying. Leaving the merchant's stall, you pass by other lay people wrapped in stories. Each glance exchanged is seasoned with a unique blend of curiosity and dread. Somehow, despite the frenetic undercurrent, a quiet solidarity weaves its way through the throng. Sure, the plague is terrifying, but gossip and a shared sense of, "Has this ever happened before?" lends a strange kind of comfort in shared human experience. Historians still argue about the extent of remedies and their effectiveness. Were these early attempts at care-misguided ventures, held together by herbs and hopeful thinking? Or was there a kernel of truth, plucked from nature's vast repertoire of healing secrets? It's one of those age-old debates, lingering like a television show's ending that sparks endless discussion long after the credits roll. Wandering further into the city, you arrive at another home, one of cobblestone sturdiness, and apparent resolve. Inside waits an elderly woman who greets you with a warmth that nearly melts the chill in the air, her face lined with stories as old as the stones you walk on. Her symptoms are less drama, more wearily accepted fact. Fatigue, she describes, like staring at dozens of unread notifications, each zap demanding energy you don't quite have. You offer her your time, listening patiently as if her words alone could breathe life back into routine. It's in these moments you cherish the rare simplicity, akin to updating your resume on the floor. Not because it's effective, but because it just feels like something. As you prepare to leave, she presses a small token into your hand, a reminder of her appreciation, or perhaps just a gesture that bridges the substantial gap between fear and comfort. It's delicate and probably useless, yet feels precious just the same. You pocket it with a nod, steeling yourself for an afternoon in a world where courteous exchanges like these leave a familiar warmth. Evening settles over the town like a soft, undulating wave. Shadows stretch along the pathway as if extending a hand to guide you homeward. Remnants of conversations drift through the air, and you take a moment to pause, reflecting perhaps at the edge of some unassuming doorway, where the world feels as still and open as the night stretching beyond. Here, away from the life or death scrutiny, away from whispers and incessant retelling of woes, you savor a moment alone. It's your time to sift through your both reassuring and baffling day, like you'd scroll through a friend's poetic but vague posts, deciphering the meaning left between each line. As twilight gives way to night, you're left in the delicate balance between knowing and unknowing, the comforting glow of attempting to do good whispering through the mantle of night's impending embrace. You find yourself on the cusp of mystery, a puzzle engaging enough to fill your dreams, awaiting the first light of dawn to renew your steps along this medieval tapestry once more. As the stars start to twinkle above, you find yourself meandering back toward home, the day's encounters lingering like the pleasant buzz after a laughing fit with friends. The streets are quieter now, each footstep echoing its own rhythm against the cobblestones. It's as though the city sighs with relief, wrapping itself in the kind of peace only found in twilight. In your hand, the token from the elderly woman feels substantial, even grounding. It's reminiscent of those late-night musings where you unexpectedly find comfort in the small, forgotten artifacts of the day. A pen dragged twice across a notepad, or a solitary earring found while dusting behind the couch. You tuck it into your cloak, a small breadcrumb of today to carry forward into tomorrow. The door swings open to the familiar creak of your old wooden home, inviting you into its embrace with a promise of warmth. The scent of herbs, lavender perhaps, mingles with the soft, tangy aroma of something simmering on the hearth. In this quiet slice of evening solace, the day sheds its layers, leaving you in that gentle lull where the world's complexities dissolve into the rustle of sleep-heavy thoughts. As you settle into the haven of your abode, thoughts drift to the day's peculiar tapestry. Half the town whispered tales of mysterious ailments and desperate remedies, the kind of tale that historians would later unspool like yarn, tugging at whether any of the bizarre treatments, like ringing bells around plague victims, were anything more than desperate hope dressed in tradition. You laugh softly to yourself at the image, imagining a future where perhaps ringing bells would serve as nothing more than an absurd alarm to wake late risers. People of yore, much like today's avid Pinterest warriors, loved finding unusual solutions to otherwise understandable problems. donning herbal amulets, or dancing through the streets seem just a couple of paces shy from crafting elaborate self-care routines in an attempt to ward off stress through scented oils. Has anything really changed in human nature? Though there's no Netflix queue awaiting you, regrettably so, your own worn journal awaits the evening's musings. You unroll the parchment, its surface whispering secrets of ink and intent. There you jot the day's highlights, the hectic market scene, the kind faces, the curious remedies, poignant moments woven together with a touch of tender humor. Like a voice memo sent to yourself, documenting the slightly inexplicable life you lead helps center your thoughts, even if tomorrow will bring its own mysteries. A choosing of paths that only the morning's light will reveal. Each tale written feels both oddly significant and sublimely inconsequential in the grand scheme of life's tumultuous pageantry. Outside, the town drifts to sleep, lulled by the cool night air as it dances in through the open window, tickling the worn tapestries with whispered breezes. You find yourself tucking in thoughts of what lies ahead when the dawn coaxes the world awake again, renewed and expectantly waiting. It's then, right as your head finds comfort on a well-acquainted pillow, you remind yourself that despite the realm of challenges ahead, you're not just sharing a story, you're part of an evolving one. Each step, diagnosis, and whisper adds to the living history your days as a plague doctor shape in this epic of humanity, where fervent hope mingles with dire reality. Historians may always debate the effectiveness of your endeavors, the quirks of your craft, or the seemingly futile struggles in this canopy of challenge. But here and now, each step forward is a testament not just to survival, but to resilience and an unyielding faith in renewal. A narrative that's whispered through time like a gentle incantation, as ancient and wise as midnight itself. Morning's gentle light creeps through the window slats, nudging you from sleep's embrace with the soft persistence of a cat needing your pillow for attention. The world is still hushed, the town not yet stirred into its usual bustle. You linger a moment longer, savoring the tranquility before stretching into the day with a heavy yawn that echoes through the modest room like a lazy trumpet. The routine unfolds with a rhythm all its own, pulling on that familiar dark robe, its fabric worn thin in places like a second skin, layering it over your sleep-warmed sleep gown as if gearing up for an unusual kind of adventure. The bird mask sits waiting, a somber sentinel by the doorway, and you chuckle at it the way you might toward a mirror on a particularly unkempt hair day. You step out, the morning dew still clinging to the air with a freshness that teases renewal. The town yawns to life around you. Shutters creak open, sweeping brooms play a soft symphony against stone, and the bread-eager gather in gentle clusters by the baker's stall, where today's loaves, fresh and yeasty, curl aromatic tendrils into the crisp air. With each step through the unfolding day, you're met by faces familiar and new, a chorus of nods and whispered greetings that feel like warm hugs on this cool morning. A kid dashes past, shoe half done and hair fluffing like a tousled dandelion, with an earnestness that makes you smile, a reminder of the unstoppable march of youth, wherever and whenever you are. Acquainting yourself with the cobbled pathway to your first call of the day, you're aware of how each appointment carries its own tenor. Some brisk, others weighed by the sadness of bedridden silence. At each threshold, you pause, allowing your memory to skitter across a palimpsest of past visits, heartfelt exchanges, and spoken prayers. The first home invites with a layer of woven herbs hanging above the door, a curious but now comforting medieval practice to ward off illnesses. You bow slightly, a practiced courtesy, before stepping over the threshold to meet the family awaiting beyond. A father, a mother, a small child, immune to the burdens of worry that press upon the adults. The father recounts their struggles with earnest simplicity, listing his child's woes with a cadence born of deep care. You approach gently, your presence a ceaseless whisper of calm assurance, likened to the soothing nature of calling a friend who just gets it without needing an express verbal roadmap. Today, your kit feels fuller, more reassuring somehow, stocked with carefully measured tinctures and dried leaves wrapped in cloth. Bits of nature's own medicine, waiting patiently to share healing whispers. You remove a small packet, brimming with the essence of thyme and chamomile, offering it like a balm against their worries. It's both remedy and reassurance, bundled in equal measure. Historians still mull whether such practices truly aided the scores of weary souls back then, or simply provided a mental salve wrapped in ritual and well-intentioned effort. Or perhaps it was a combination, an intersection where the heart's cure and the body's healing walked hand in hand through history's tapestry. As you leave, the family's hopeful gratitude trails behind you, filling the space with warmth akin to a late-night favorite show, reuniting with its beloved characters. There's an unspoken promise of return, a gentle touchstone in the tumult of uncertainty. The path meanders, leading you toward yet another pocket of the town, each turn cradled in the nesting arms of trees beginning to whisper the aubergine allure of autumn. The scenery, much like the storylines you carry, twists and unspools, allowing glimpses of serendipity to unfurl amidst the unsuspecting moment. A neighborly wave, a shared glance, an unexpected laugh. Midday's sun lilts high, its warmth a comforting weight upon your shoulders. You pause under a tree, letting its shade wrap around you like a cloak, taking a moment to savor the stillness. The day, like time itself, feels both fleeting and profound. Moments stretched across the tapestry of necessity and healing. Your task remains the same: to make the unknown a touch less daunting, to balance on the tightrope between the rigors of plague and the comforting rhythm of care. Each step forward, each hand held, is a reminder not just of the fragility of life, but its relentless pursuit of light, much like a sapling straining toward the sun's gentle promise. And in these small, uncounted victories, history finds both its echo and its pulse. As the day's warmth coaxes the morning chill from the air, you find yourself amidst the ebb and flow of the market square once again. It's alive with colors and sounds. Vendors call out their wares, the scent of spices weaving through the air like an invisible tapestry. You navigate through this bustling scene with a familiarity that feels almost comforting, your steps guided by the rhythm of daily life unfolding around you. Your eyes scan the crowd, noting the faces of townsfolk as you pass. Each carries their own story, woven from the threads of days past and the uncertainties of tomorrow. It's like scrolling through a sea of social media posts, each one a snapshot of lives lived parallel yet separate, a constant stream of moments captured and shared in the open air rather than a virtual space. The next patient on your list is a woman known for the herbal remedies she peddles at the edge of the market. You find her seated under the shade of a vibrant awning, her hands working nimbly to create small bundles of dried herbs. Her presence is a living testament to resilience. Her knowledge of nature's bounty, a quilt of wisdom passed down through generations. As you approach, she greets you with a nod, her eyes twinkling with the kind of mischief that can only come from years of seeing the world for what it is. Beautiful in its imperfection, resilient in its fragility. She shares tales of the market's morning happenings, her voice a soothing murmur amid the nearby chatter, layered with anecdotes that sprinkle in just the right amount of humor and irony. Her ailments are mild, mere whispers compared to the cries of others, and you offer her a gentle assessment, the familiarity of the ritual, a balm unto itself. Despite your position as the town's plague doctor, you often find yourself on both sides of the healing exchange, giving and receiving, as the roles of caregiver and community member blur into one another like watercolor on paper. In return for your visit, she gifts you a small pouch of herbs, its aroma a medley of hope and hushed strength. It's not unlike receiving a meme that perfectly encapsulates a moment. Unexpected, yet delightfully apt, a piece of the world distilled into something tangible. As the afternoon stretches into its golden hour, you wander, letting the warmth kiss your skin with gentle affinity. Each sunbeam, a thread binding the day's tapestry. The streets you tread feel alive, whispering secrets of past and present with each step. The kind of serendipitous chorus you might hear when walking through a new city. The hidden symphony of its life unfurling around you. Historians puzzle over the extent of collective healing found in these small exchanges between plague doctors and citizens. Were they the stitches in the fabric of community, mending the rifts caused by fear and uncertainty? Or were they mere echoes of a past, desperately clinging to the semblance of order in a time of chaos? By late afternoon, you find yourself drawn to a quiet corner of the town, a small garden tucked away behind weathered stone walls. It's a pocket of tranquility amidst the day's hurried pace, the scent of thyme and rosemary thick on the breeze. You take a seat on a rough-hewn bench, letting the weight of the day slowly melt away in solitude, a brief respite akin to pressing pause on a world that often spins too fast. You lose yourself in thought, watching the leaves dance in the gentle wind, their shadows flitting across your skin like whispered lullabies. It's in these moments that the day's efforts coalesce into something more than just a routine, a weaving of small triumphs into the larger story of life's indomitable spirit. As dusk begins its descent, you rise, feeling the evening's cool hand gently guide you homeward, thoughts of the day trailing behind like fading footprints in the sand. It's a reminder of the cyclical nature of life, of how each day closes one chapter only to softly open the next, an ever-unfolding story written in the quiet spaces between what was and what could be. The sun dips lower, casting long shadows that stretch lazily across the cobbled streets. As you make your way back through the winding alleys, there's a lull to the day that echoes the quiet sigh of a world preparing to rest. It's the kind of serene pause you might find when settling down on the couch after a long day, letting the calm seep into your bones. Returning home, the familiar creak of the door greets you. It's become a comforting routine, hearing that gentle groan of wood, a reminder that despite everything, some things remain steadfast and unchanged. Inside, the dimming light casts a soft glow, illuminating the quaint corners of your humble abode, each nook wrapped in shadows that dance softly with the flicker of a single candle. You set your things down: mask, pouch of herbs, and cloak, like shedding the mantle of the day's duties at the threshold of evening's embrace. The air is tinged with the soothing scent of lavender, wafting from a small bundle you'd placed near the window to catch the breeze. It's a touch of domestic serenity, much like finding comfort in a freshly made bed, with pillows plumped just right. Settling into a worn chair by the window, you let the day's happenings unravel in your mind, each memory a thread weaving its way through the tapestry of your thoughts. Encounters and quiet reflections tumble together, mingling in warm recognition. It's a mosaic of shared humanity, a patchwork quilt of moments that transcends time and context. Historians continue to debate the broader impacts of the plague doctors. Did they really change the course of history? Or were they merely figures sketched into the margins of something far greater? It's a question that hovers, much like asking whether our daily stirrings in the vast universe truly leave a mark. But in these quiet moments, the whisper of doubt falls away, replaced by a gentle certainty that echoes through the very essence of what it means to be part of this world. The small acts of kindness, the warmth of shared stories, and the solemn duty you carry, all these echoes ripple outward, creating waves that lap upon the shores of time. As the sky deepens into twilight, you watch as stars begin to poke pinpricks in the velvet darkness, each one a silent witness to countless stories unfolding beneath them. The night hums with a gentle lullaby, its chorus a soft symphony of crickets and distant voices, an auditory embrace wrapping around you. The senses become attuned to the quiet medley of night, much like when you recline on the couch, letting the ambient sounds of the evening seep through the windowsill. It's a shared reverie between you and the world outside, an unspoken conversation that dances amidst the shadows and light. With the evening stretching forth, you pick up your journal, its pages soft and supple from frequent musings. You scribble down today's journey, letting the ink flow, a silent conduit to your thoughts. The scratch of pen on paper becomes a gentle anchor in the fluid sea of time, a place where each day's echoes can resonate in soft harmony. It's here, in the cocoon of night, that the world breathes a collective sigh, and you find comfort in the repetitive dance of existence, a perpetual cycle of day to night, wakefulness to rest. With each rise and fall, a lullaby of life's intricate tapestry is sung, a song that ushers you gently toward the promise of sleep. The candle flickers bravely in the dark until its light dims and you feel the familiar pull of sleep, a tender embrace that promises rest and renewal. You close your eyes, letting the echoes of the day be cradled in a dream-bound expanse, where they weave seamlessly into the fabric of time. And as the night draws you deeper into its gentle grasp, you drift softly into the delicate embrace of tomorrow's dawn. As dawn breaks, a gentle light spills through the window, coaxing you back to wakefulness, like a soft nudge from a trusted friend. The world outside hums with the early stirrings of life, each sound a reminder of the day's fresh promise. You stretch languidly, savoring the transition from the warmth of sleep to the cool freshness of a new day. Much like sinking into a soft blanket of sunlight, stepping into the morning, you're greeted by a quiet stillness that hangs like a gossamer veil across the town. There's a sense of renewal in the air, a buoyant whisper of possibilities. Today, the world feels lighter, as though the burdens of yesterday have been gently swept aside with the night's passing. You gather your things, The mask, the cloak, and the small pouch that carries the day's provisions, feeling the familiar weight of your duties settle like a comforting mantle around your shoulders. It's a ritual now, one that feels as essential as breathing, as natural as the way dawn gives way to day. Out in the streets, the sun casts a golden glow across the cobblestones, imbuing each surface with a warm, honeyed light. The town awakens slowly, unfurling in a chorus of morning greetings, the chatter of daily errands, and the rhythmic patter of feet against stone. It's a symphony of life that hums around you like the gentle thrum of a favorite song, its cadence comforting in its predictability. Your path takes you first to a small house on the northern edge of town. It's a humble abode, its wooden beams softened by age and weather, much like an old pair of slippers that have molded perfectly to your feet. Inside, you find a young mother and her child, both wide-eyed with the sheen of uncertainty that shadows so many in these times. You offer your reassurance alongside the herbal remedies, weaving your words with a tenderness born of shared humanity. The child watches you intently, with the kind of curiosity that only the young possess, unburdened by the weight of understanding. There's something profoundly moving in the simplicity of his questions, a reminder that amidst the complexity of life, there's a purity in seeing the world as it is. As you prepare to leave, the mother offers you a small token, an intricately carved charm, its surface smooth from years of touch. You accept it with a warmth that surprises you, a reminder that kindness flows both ways, much like a river that winds its way through the heart of the town, drawing life and stories along its banks. The morning unfolds with a gentle rhythm, your footsteps carrying you from home to home, each encounter a new thread in the tapestry of the day. At each stop, stories are exchanged like pieces of a cherished jigsaw, fitting together to form the larger picture of the community, its resilience, its hopes, and its unyielding spirit. Historians still puzzle over the intricacies of these interactions, whether they truly mended the rifts of fear and uncertainty that plagued the time, or simply served as a balm to soothe the soul. It's an open question, much like pondering if the daily rituals we cling to now hold greater significance than simply marking the passage of time. As the day wears on, you find yourself drawn to the town square once more. The market is alive with activity, a vibrant tapestry of colors and sounds that swirl around you. It's a place where the hum of life is palpable, where the stories of the day are exchanged with the ease of catching up with an old friend. And so, you move through the afternoon, the sun casting long shadows across your path, each step a quiet rhythm in the harmonious dance of life's everyday miracle. You're aware of the gentle pull of the evening, waiting just beyond the horizon, promising rest and reflection once more. With the day's work drawing to a close, you turn toward home, the path familiar beneath your feet. The town begins to quiet around you, the sounds diminishing to a gentle hush that cradles your thoughts. It's a time of transition, a moment of calm before the night wraps its arms around the earth in a gentle embrace. As you settle back into your corner of the world, the mantle of responsibilities slowly slips away, leaving you with a quiet sense of fulfillment. The candle flickers again in the encroaching dusk, its light a beacon of warmth and comfort that draws you toward rest. You sit for a while, letting the peace of the evening seep into your bones, until the world around you dissolves into a soft blur of fading light and murmured promises. It's a gentle transition, the kind that carries you effortlessly toward the solace of sleep, wrapped tenderly in the embrace of tomorrow's quiet dawn. As another day dawns, you find yourself slowly emerging from a cocoon of quiet dreams, greeted by the soft light filtering through the curtains like a gentle caress. The air is cool, a refreshing balm against your skin, and you revel in the simple pleasure of waking naturally without the jarring beep of an alarm or the insistent glare of notifications. It's a reminder that life's rhythms carry their own gentle insistence, much like the subtle chime of a favorite wind chime dancing in a light breeze. Slipping from the warmth of sleep, you dress in the now familiar attire of a plague doctor, each piece feeling like an old friend. The ritual is grounding, each layer a reminder of the day's purpose and the small, quiet strength required to face it. Once again, the bird mask rests beside the door, its blank gaze mildly comforting in its constancy, a silent sentinel awaiting its call to duty. Outside, the town stretches and yawns into wakefulness, each house shaking off the remnants of sleep as the sun climbs higher. There's a sense of anticipation in the air, a collective breath drawn in readiness for another day's journey through the blend of routine and unpredictability that has become life's hallmark. It's much like standing at the edge of a forest trail, the path unknown, yet the journey holding a quiet promise of discovery. The first patient today is an elderly man whose home sits on the edge of the marketplace. The familiarity of the place wraps around you as you enter, a comforting presence built from visits past, each encounter a stitch in the rich fabric of the community. He greets you with a smile that crinkles the corners of his eyes, a nod to the history shared and stories exchanged over time. His ailments are modest, a lingering cough and tiredness that seem to weigh heavier these days, but his spirit is bright, undimmed by the passage of time. You listen, offering a steady presence and a few words of reassurance, akin to the way one might lend an ear to a friend's woes, shoulders squared as if to bear some of the weight together. In return, he recounts tales of his youth, anecdotes peppered with laughter and touched by a hint of nostalgia, like sepia-toned snapshots of a life well lived. His stories are treasures, each one carefully unpacked and shared, leaving you richer for having heard them. It's a reminder of the power stories hold, of their ability to connect, to heal, and to provide a balm when little else can. Leaving his home, a small vial of tincture swaps hands, its essence a token of the care given and received. You tuck it away carefully, its significance a gentle nudge that even the smallest gestures carry weight and meaning, much like sending a thoughtful text to a friend after a long day. The market square calls next, a vibrant chorus of voices echoing as vendors set up their stalls, their goods a colorful tapestry arrayed under the morning sun. You weave through the stalls, finding delight in the familiar hustle and bustle of this central heart of the town, where all roads eventually converge, much like the lively convergence of a family dinner table. A woman stops you, her concern written in the folds of her brow, as she shares news of a neighbor's sudden illness. The exchange unfolds with a quiet urgency, underscoring the fragility of life and the strength found in the simple act of reaching out, of drawing someone into the circle of community. You promise to visit, tucking the address into the pocket of memory alongside images of past visits. Each interaction, each small vow to return, office, or check in is a silent reaffirmation of the invisible threads that entwine the people of this town together. threads that blur the boundaries between acquaintance and kin, weaving a tapestry rich with trust and stoic optimism. By the time the sun reaches its zenith, you find yourself enjoying a brief respite in the shade of a large oak that has stood sentinel over these lands for generations. Its branches sway gently overhead, whispering timeless secrets to those who care to listen. You close your eyes, letting the sounds of the town, the wind, and the leaves lull you into a moment's peace. Historians continue to dissect the efficacy and impact of your work, from the quiet rituals observed to the layered protections donned each day. Were these efforts more than just symbolic gestures, or did they carry real weight in slowing the tide of the unknown? It's a question that circles like an unsolved puzzle, echoing through the annals of history. But for you, here and now, the answers are less pressing than the tangible connections forged in the moments that make up each day. It's in these connections, these simple acts of tending to human needs and fears, that your purpose is reaffirmed. Each shared smile and nod a testament to resilience and mutual care. As the afternoon drifts slowly into evening, you feel the gentle tug of home beckoning once more. You walk toward it, your steps soft against the well-trodden path, the familiar ache of a day's work echoing in your limbs. The sunset paints the town in hues of amber and rose, casting everything in a warmly nostalgic light. Back within the walls of your home, the evening settles around you like a soft cloak. You find solace in this quiet retreat, the slow tick of time, a soothing counterpoint to the day's bustling rhythm. As you prepare to unwind, you allow yourself to pause, to breathe deeply of the gathered peace. Here in the twilight, surrounded by the gentle continuity of life's cycles, you settle into the comfort of the present moment. With the familiar hum of the night around you, you let your thoughts wander until finally they release you and you drift softly into sleep's waiting embrace, buoyed by the promise of another dawn. As the first light of day peeks over the horizon, it filters through your window, gently coaxing you from dreams into wakefulness. The world is bathed in the soft glow of early morning, and the air carries the fresh promise of a new day. You stretch leisurely, savoring the transition, and feel the comforting weight of warm blankets, like a soft cocoon, before you slip out of bed and into your morning ritual. Each piece of your attire is donned with practiced ease, the fabric settling around you like an old familiar tune. The mask sits quietly nearby, its silhouette outlined against the morning light, like a silent guardian. As you prepare to step outside, you pause to take in the stillness, a quiet moment of gratitude for the constancy of morning routines. The town greets you with its own brand of awakening, the bustling energy of daily life just beginning to stir. There's a rhythm to it, a heartbeat that thrums beneath the cobblestones, and as you move through the streets, it feels as though you're syncopating with the pulse of the town itself. Each person you pass, each nod exchanged, is a note in the symphony playing out around you. Your first stop is a small home nestled near the church, where a widow with wise eyes and a collection of old remedies awaits your counsel. She's known for her pots of soup simmering over an open flame, designed to chase away chills and worries alike. You've visited her many times before, and the familiarity between you is warm and unspoken, like slipping into a conversation with an old friend you haven't seen in years. Over steaming mugs of tea, she shares tales of how life has unfolded since your last visit. Her laughter rings out like the peal of a bell, and you find yourself caught up in her stories, where quiet joy coexists alongside the inevitable sorrow woven into the fabric of everyday life. It's a reminder that resilience is often found in the telling and retelling of our shared narratives, much like stringing together beads on a necklace to create something beautiful and unique. After offering her a new concoction, a blend of herbs to ease her evening aches, you step into the morning sunshine once more, a small sprig of mint from her garden tucked into your pocket as a token of goodwill. It's a simple thing, yet every time you catch its scent, you're reminded of the quiet moments spent in the warmth of her kitchen. As you move through the town, the atmosphere carries a sense of both determination and longing. People go about their business with a steadfast focus, each interaction a reminder of the fragility and strength coexisting within the tight-knit community. For someone like you, who moves among them as both healer and fellow traveler, there lies an unspoken understanding, a mutual acknowledgement of shared burdens. You find yourself drawn once more to the bustling market square where life pulses vibrantly. Vendors hawk their goods, and children weave playfully between stalls, their laughter a bright counterpoint to the somber reality that simmers just below the surface. It's a place where the world feels larger than the sum of its parts, where the stories of the town intertwine with new and old faces alike. A couple approaches, their small child in tow, a young boy with solemn eyes and a curl of mischief hiding in the corners of his smile. They seek guidance, not just for remedy, but for reassurance, something to tether them amidst the uncertainty that hovers like a shadow. You sit with them, offering both advice and comfort, weaving stories of hope into the tapestry of their concerns. Historians still puzzle over the role of healers like you, wondering if your presence truly shaped the course of events or simply provided a fleeting sense of peace. It's a debate not unlike those musings we have today, pondering the impact of our choices and the mark we leave on the world, shaped not just by grand gestures, but by the quiet consistency of our everyday actions. As afternoon turns to evening, you return to the cool haven of your dwelling, the door creaking softly as it welcomes you back. You shed the layers of your day's work, and the familiar comforts of home embrace you. The gentle glow of a single candle, the scent of herbs drying by the windowsill, and the quiet solitude that wraps around you like a favorite old sweater. Sinking into your chair by the window, you let your thoughts wander, fingertips tracing the spine of your journal, its pages filled with the echoes of days past. Outside, the world transitions once more, night's velvet embrace slipping over the town, the stars beginning to wink into existence overhead. It's in this quiet interlude that you find the space to reflect, to breathe deeply of the silence that sings its own lullaby through the night. You are but one part of a greater story, as bound to the earth by these simple, shared rituals as the people you visit each day. And as the day's final light fades, you close your eyes, surrendering to the warmth of dreams, buoyed by the knowledge that each dawn brings with it an opportunity to write anew on the blank pages of possibility. As you wake to the soft embrace of dawn, the air carries a slight chill, a gentle reminder of the changing seasons. There's a crispness to the morning, the kind that makes you pull your blanket a little tighter around you before finally rolling out of bed. It's like that moment when you stare at your phone at 2% battery, contemplating tapping through one more video before acknowledging that it's finally time to recharge. Adjusting to the morning light, you begin your familiar routine, the simple process of dressing in your plague doctor attire, each layer settling with a ritual comfort. It grounds you, much like scribbling out a to-do list for the day's tasks ahead, even if you know you'll probably abandon half of it halfway through. Stepping outside, the town greets you with its fresh morning bustle. Your breath mingles visibly with the cool air, dissipating into the vivid hues of autumn that seem to drape the town in an embrace of warmth, despite the chill. There's a liveliness to the air, the gentle rustle of leaves and the murmur of waking citizens weave together to create a tapestry of sound, an understated symphony marking the dawn of another day. Your first stop is a familiar cottage on the outskirts of town, where the faint strains of music slip through the open windows. A violinist, crafting melodies that float like paper boats on a gentle stream. The music is like the cozy background noise of a favorite playlist, infusing the morning with a sense of calm creativity that stirs the senses. Inside, the musician, a middle-aged man with a bright spirit, greets you warmly, the violin resting in his hands like an extension of his soul. You visited him several times before, shared cups of strong herbal tea while listening to his stories, each one peppered with notes of wit and wisdom. Today, his hands ache, the chill biting at his fingers in defiant protest to the beauty they create. You fashion a remedy for him, blending herbs that soothe the joints and calm the spirit. Rosemary for warmth, sage for clarity, and a touch of mint for freshness. It's a concoction brewed with the same care you'd pour into writing a heartfelt letter to a distant friend, hoping the words bridge the miles with their tenderness and sincerity. You linger over the tea he brews, steaming, fragrant, an antidote to the encroaching cold. The two of you discuss life, art, existence, the big picture stuff that doesn't come up in small talk, but makes enduring the difficult times worthwhile. And as the conversation meanders, like the errant tones of a forgotten melody, you're reminded of the healing power found in connection. Its magic as potent as any remedy you've crafted. Historians often debate the contributions of plague doctors like you, dissecting whether your practices were truly effective or simply exercises in futility. In this moment, the answer feels less relevant than the quiet harmony shared between you and the musician. A small but profound testament to shared humanity in a world fraught with challenge. The lingering notes of his violin follow you as you step back into the crispness of the day, wrapping around you like an invisible cloak. The sky begins to deepen into the rich hues of late afternoon as you continue your rounds, each home visited like a page turned in a never-ending diary, filled with notes of perseverance and hope. Each street corner hides a familiar face, offering a nod, a smile, a whispered greeting that embraces you like a fragile, shared warmth against the encroaching cold. As dusk begins to draw its velvet curtain over the town, you find yourself pulled back toward the market square, which settles into restful quietude as vendors pack away the day's wares. The world seems to slow, the bustle softening into the gentle rhythm of evening's embrace, a sigh of collective rest after the day's exertion. Returning home, you find the comfort of your sanctuary a balm for weary limbs and a tired mind. You slip off the day's attire with gratitude, the familiar walls of your home offering solace in their reassuring silence. You light a candle, its flicker casting a warm glow that invites relaxation, much like the gentle cocoon of warmth found in a beloved old sweater. Settling down in your favorite chair by the window, you allow the quiet to envelop you, the sounds of the night singing their soft lullaby in the background. Your journal awaits, pages inviting you to transpose the memories of the day into written form. A meditative act that brings both closure and intentions for the morrow. The hum of night sews a gentle tapestry around you, the candle's flame slowly diminishing as the world outside whispers its lullabies against the windowpane. As your eyes grow heavy, you allow yourself to drift, surrendering to the rhythm of sleep, the stillness of night gently carrying you forward into the promise of a new day. Here, within the tender embrace of night, you find rest, a retreat from the day's demands, an invitation to dream, to heal, to remain steadfast against the tide. And as sleep draws you into its profound depths, you are cushioned by the quiet reassurance that dawn will once again offer its gentle light upon your path. With the soft caress of dawn comes the gentle reawakening of the world, its hush a symphony of promise and renewal. You greet the morning with a languid stretch, savoring those first few moments of serenity before the rhythm of the day unfurls its dance. It's a familiar ritual, like scrolling absently through messages that quietly accumulated overnight, a bridge between the dream world and waking life. Emerging from your cocoon of blankets, you welcome the tactile comfort of slipping into your garb, the plague doctor attire now second nature, a costume perhaps, but one with a purpose as solid as the cobblestones beneath your feet. Once again, the bird mask awaits, a silent companion at the door, its presence both comforting and odd, like an old friend with eccentric habits. Stepping out into the brisk morning air, you're greeted by the town as it slowly stirs to life. The streets, curving gracefully through the maze of homes and shops, seem to breathe deeply as people begin their routines. It's a comforting thought, this shared breath of a community coming to life in tandem, like the world taking its first sip of morning coffee. Your first visit today is to a quaint cottage nestled behind a weathered stone wall, where an elderly woman awaits. Her garden is a riot of color and fragrance, a miniature Eden tended with the kind of care that comes from decades of love and dedication. This sanctuary of nature feels like stepping into a painting, each leaf and blossom a stroke of vibrant life amidst the somber reality of the times. Inside, the woman greets you with a knowing smile, the lines of her face etched deeply with years of wisdom and warmth. Her ailments are typical of age, minor reminders of the body's natural decline, and you address them with gentle remedies, teas and tinctures lovingly crafted to soothe aches and ease the weariness of time. Her stories, much like the herbs she cultivates, are rich and varied. She shares them with the cadence of a storyteller who's familiar with the art of capturing an audience's imagination. Each tale a tapestry woven with threads of hope, love, and resilience. Listening to her is like settling in to watch an old favorite film, comfortable yet filled with rediscovered nuances. As you leave her home, the garden's beauty clings to you with a fragrant farewell, a reminder that even amidst hardship, there are small pockets of joy and splendor to be found. It's a gentle nudge to notice the beauty in the everyday, even when it goes unnoticed, like the melody of an unheard song. The town hums with its own kind of energy as you make your way through the winding streets, each intersection a meeting place of stories, every face a chapter in an ever-evolving book. The rapport you share with the townspeople is a testament to the shared history weaving through the cobblestones, silent stories that bind you together in a patchwork of communal resilience. You pause at the baker's stall, the scent of freshly baked bread enveloping you in a warm embrace, like a cherished memory brought unexpectedly to mind. It's hard not to smile, the smell rekindling a hunger not just for food, but for the small delights that flavor life, a reminder of the simple pleasure found in a fresh loaf shared among friends or savored in solitude. Historians still debate the impact of plague doctors, their role a peculiar curiosity within the annals of history. Did these figures, with their avian visages and herbal remedies, truly alter the course of events, or merely provide a human face to an unfathomable crisis? The answer, perhaps, is less important than the stories that endure, the connections forged in times of trial, and the enduring kindnesses that echo long after. As your rounds draw to a close, the sun begins its descent, casting a golden light across the town. You find yourself once more at the edge of the market, the day's hustle softening into the gentle hum of evening. It's a time for reflection, for letting go of the day's weight and welcoming the night's quiet peace. In the sanctuary of your home, you shed the layers of the day, feeling the tension slip away. The familiar warmth of your abode welcomes you back, the gentle flicker of a candle casting soothing shadows on the walls. You breathe deeply, the air infused with the comforting scent of lingering herbs, a soft reminder of the care you've given and received. Settling into your favorite chair, you allow your thoughts to unravel, each one a thread in the tapestry of experience. Outside, the world sighs into night, the stars beginning to peek through the canopy of darkness, their twinkle a gentle promise of continuity, an unchanging witness in an ever-changing world. As the night envelops you, it brings with it a deep sense of calm. The gentle cadence of your thoughts, much like the ebb and flow of a soft tide, lulls you towards sleep. You close your eyes, surrendering to the night that cradles you with the promise of another dawn, another day to weave more threads into the rich fabric of your shared journey. As the first gentle light of dawn nudges you awake, you find solace in the tender silence of early morning. There's a tranquility here, a stillness that invites the whisper of new possibilities. It's like the fleeting quiet before a group chat awakens, each message a cascade of expectations that folds into the rhythm of everyday life. With a practiced ease, you slide into your attire, each piece familiar and grounding. The cloak wraps around you like an old story, its fabric worn but still perfectly suited for the role it serves. The bird mask sits solemnly nearby, its silhouette a peculiar reminder of the dual nature of your work. Part medicine, part myth, each piece fitting into the greater puzzle of a world in flux. Stepping outside, the town greets you with its morning symphony. Birdsong, interwoven with the gentle murmur of people beginning their day. It feels alive, this collective stirring, as if the very streets themselves inhale and exhale in a quiet dance with the rising sun. You find yourself swept along in its rhythm as you make your way to the outskirts, where your first patient of the day resides. This home is a small cottage surrounded by a whimsical garden that seems to tumble lazily over itself in a patchwork of greens and blooms. The morning dew glistens on the petals, a sparkling testament to nature's quiet insistence on beauty, no matter the circumstances. It's a vibrant, living sanctuary, and stepping inside feels akin to entering a secret world, delightful in its unexpectedness. Inside, a young woman waits, her brow furrowed with the weight of worry. Her ailment is a familiar one, persistent, dull pain that seems to wander through her bones like an uninvited guest. You set to work, crafting a remedy from her own garden's bounty, a blend of chamomile for calming, ginger for warmth, and valerian to usher restful sleep. As she watches you work, you talk. Your conversation is easy, a flowing exchange reminiscent of the effortless back and forth between well-acquainted friends. Each word a stitch, weaving a tapestry of understanding and connection. You find joy in the small revelations shared, the laughter that bubbles up like an unexpected breeze, lightening the air around you. Before you leave, she presses a handful of herbs into your palm, their scent fresh and alive, a small gesture of gratitude that echoes long after you step back into the day's demands. It's these moments, intimate, unhurried, that seem to define the true essence of your work, tying the threads of community together in a way that no text or theory can fully capture. The sun rises higher, warming the town and stirring it into its daytime vibrancy. You find yourself navigating its streets with a familiarity that brings a quiet comfort. Faces greet you as you pass, welcoming, trusting, each exchange a testament to the small daily acts of kindness that shape the heart of this community. By late morning, the market is alive with hustle and bustle. Stalls brim with fresh produce and wares, each vendor's voice a note in the harmonious orchestra of trade and camaraderie. You meander through the stalls, pausing to exchange pleasantries and engage in brief, lively exchanges that lighten your spirit. Your presence here, while initially greeted with a hint of apprehension, is now absorbed into the everyday fabric of market life. The gentle humor and camaraderie woven into these encounters mirror the careful ease of opening that one unread message, unsure of what lays within. It's a dance of expectation and fulfillment, each interaction a step within the intricate choreography of daily life. Historians continue to explore the ripple effects of the plague doctor's work, analyzing whether their contributions, both real and perceived, provide more than just symbolic comfort. In reflection, these stories seem less about a singular figure and more about a constellation of people weaving their strength and kindness into the collective memory of a community. As shadows begin to lengthen, the town eases into a familiar, contemplative lull. You wind your way back to the sanctuary of your own home, the path worn with the imprints of countless journeys. Here, amidst the familiar glow of lamplight, the scent of herbs, and the quiet hum of anticipation, you find rest. With the world falling into its gentle cadence of night, you settle into your chair, a worn journal resting against your palm. It's time to capture the day's echoes, the whispers of conversations, the laughter shared, the moments of unexpected joy that define your days, and transcribe them into the record of your journey. The darkness beyond the window draws close, wrapping the town in a nurturing embrace. You exhale softly, letting the day's tension melt away into the air, each breath a step closer to surrendering the present moment to the stillness of the night. Your eyelids grow heavy, the promise of sleep a welcoming retreat. As your thoughts drift on the edge of dreams, you sense the continuity of days, each one a thread interwoven into the grand tapestry of life, binding the past to the present and stretching into the dawn of tomorrow. With the quiet rhythm of the night surrounding you, You surrender to sleep's tender embrace, knowing that, as surely as the stars decorate the evening sky, the morning will unveil itself anew. The world slowly awakens with the first strokes of dawn, light spilling gently through your window to coax you from the depths of a comforting sleep. With a deep stretch, you welcome the day, its invitation and embrace that holds promise. The morning air is crisp against your skin as you leave the warmth of your bed, the kind of invigorating chill that snaps awake your senses, with a reminder that there's a world waiting beyond those soft scrambled blankets. You slip into your attire with practiced care, each piece a familiar friend that grounds you amidst the whirl of thoughts propelling you forward. Before stepping out the door, you pause to appreciate the quiet stillness of your room, inhaling the scent of lavender that lingers like a whispered promise of calm. It's much like staring at a peaceful photo on your phone from a vacation past, grounding and assuring all at once. Opening the door, you're greeted by the soft, silver light of early morning, and the world unfurls around you with gentle whispers. The town begins to stir with purpose, each echo of your footsteps resonating with life as doors creak open and neighbors exchange warm greetings. It's the kind of morning that holds a quiet optimism, like finding the perfect song to start your day, a hint that maybe today will be edged with something special. Your first calling today leads you to a modest home nestled by the river, where the water hums a gentle lullaby as it winds its way past. This small house, weathered by time, yet filled with character, stands as a testament to the unseen stories written within its walls. As you approach, the low murmur of conversation seeps through the wooden structure. A family, old and young alike, cocooned in laughter and shared stories. Inside, an elderly man sits by the window, tracing patterns in the frost that paints the glass like delicate lace. He greets you with a smile that warms the room, his eyes alight with tales of his youth. His ailment, a persistent stiffness, dampens his spirit, but not his resolve. And as you work together to find relief, there's a palpable sense of resilience, like the quiet strength in the steady pulse of the river just outside. You concoct a remedy from the herbs found in his own backyard, mixing sage with a touch of comfrey and yarrow, a blend steeped in both tradition and hope. As you go about your work, he shares stories from days gone by, vivid and rich, tales spun with a humor that adds color to the gray morning, much like vivid strokes from a well-loved palette. As you leave, his gratitude follows you out the door like a warm hug, and you're left with a feeling of lightness that carries you toward your next visit. There's an interconnectedness here that humbles you, a reminder that amid the complexities of life, there exists a powerful force in the shared human experience. The market square, your next destination, bustles with midday energy. Stalls are filled with vibrant produce and handmade goods, each piece a testament to the skill and dedication of its creator. Vendors and patrons haggle playfully, their exchanges a lively dance that fills the air with spirited banter, like a vintage film reel brought to life in front of you. As you walk through the square, a child carefree and laughing darts past, a reminder of the simple joys that punctuate existence, the small miracles we sometimes overlook in favor of the grand narratives we're told to chase. You smile at the thought, the simplicity of laughter infectious, a soothing balm for a weary spirit. With your rounds complete, the sun dips low, casting long, soft shadows across the town as the day transitions into evening. The sky, ablaze with the warm hues of the setting sun, envelops you as you wander back home, each step measured against the rhythm of the earth. Inside your haven, the scent of chamomile and honey rises from the mug between your hands, steam spiraling upward like a comforting whisper. You let the warmth seep into your bones as you sink into your chair, the world outside wrapping itself in the tender embrace of night. You reflect on the day's journey, recalling faces and stories, each one a thread in the intricate tapestry of life. As you write in your journal, your handwriting curves across the page with a familiar ease, a meditation woven through the narrative of meaningful connections and fleeting glances exchanged amid the laughter and solemnity of shared human experience. The night deepens, and as the world quiets around you, you feel a profound sense of peace. There's a continuity in your work, a gentle strength that pulses under the fabric of daily routines. It assures you that every visit, every remedy, every story told and heard creates ripples that resonate in the unending stream of time. So, with the delicate promise of dawn whispering through the darkness, you close your eyes, surrendering to sleep's tender embrace. The gentle rhythm of your breath melds with the world's soft lullaby, carrying you effortlessly into dreams where warmth and hope intertwine, whispered by the stars shimmering above. The morning arrives softly, wrapping the town in its gentle embrace as you awaken to the muted light spilling across your room. It's the kind of start that invites you to linger in bed just a moment longer, letting the warmth cocoon you before the day calls you into its fold. There's a comforting stillness here, like the world is holding its breath, waiting for the first gentle stirring of life. You rise and slip into your attire with the ease of familiarity, each piece of the costume fitting together like a puzzle you've assembled countless times. It's a ritual that steadies you, much like starting your day with a favorite song on repeat before stepping into the unknowns that await. The bird mask takes its place by your side, an emblem of the role you play, part protector, part bearer of hope. As you step out into the crisp morning air, the town wakes with you, the quiet murmurs of a new day rising with the sun. There's a symphony in the simplicity of it all. The soft rustle of leaves in the breeze, the distant clatter of shutters opening, footsteps padding softly along cobblestones. It's the soundtrack of life unfolding, each note a gentle reminder of the beauty found in the routine. First on your path is a visit to a household nestled amid towering oak trees, their branches intertwined like an extended family, holding on through the seasons. The sunlight filters through the leaves, dappling the ground with shifting patterns, a mosaic that guides you to the humble door. Inside, a young man waits, his eyes shadowed by worry and restless nights. His cough is persistent, a nuisance that seems to cling to him with stubborn tenacity. You listen as he describes the symptoms, your mind already piecing together the puzzle that illness often presents. A simple remedy offers both physical relief and peace of mind. A soothing tea, blended with thyme, eucalyptus, and a touch of honey to ease his breathing and his spirit. Your presence, you've come to realize, is as much about soothing fears as it is about mending bodies. The conversations you share weave a tapestry of understanding, a safe space where stories can be exchanged, where anxieties can be named and then gently softened. In his eyes, you see the gratitude that words often fail to capture, a connection deepened through shared vulnerability and kindness. As you move on, The sun climbs higher, draping the town in its warmth. You feel its gentle touch against your skin, a reminder of the simple joys that punctuate life's challenges. There's a pleasant familiarity in the faces you pass, each greeting a stitch in the fabric of community that binds you together. It's a dance of recognition and simplicity, a choreography rehearsed over countless days and encounters. The market square beckons once more, a bustling heart where life ebbs and flows in vibrant pulses. Here, people gather like tributaries joining a river, their movements mingling as they flow toward the promise of connection and commerce. The atmosphere is lively, filled with laughter, friendly bartering, and the comforting scent of spices and freshly baked bread. A vendor waves you over, eager to share news of his thriving herb garden. This newfound abundance, he claims, is due to the advice you gave some weeks ago. You share a laugh, feeling the warmth of camaraderie, of a small victory celebrated in the open air. It's these moments, the laughter, the shared stories, the victories, that seem to buoy the spirit, an invisible thread of joy in the tapestry of everyday life. Historians often debate the efficacy of your work, pondering the true impact of practices both ancient and mysterious. But in these moments, surrounded by the people and places you serve, the purpose feels clear. Each interaction, every cup of soothing tea, every shared story, it all weaves together to form something greater than the sum of its parts. A community strengthened, resilience kindled anew each day. As the afternoon sun begins its descent, casting long shadows across the peaceful streets, you make your way home. The day's work lingers in your mind, a gentle reminder of the connections made, the lives touched. The rhythmic cadence of your steps provides a soothing backdrop, like the settling quiet after a shared meal or the softening light at dusk. Entering your sanctuary, you savor the stillness that greets you. The familiar scents of herbs and candle wax wrap around you, a balm for the soul. You sink into your favorite chair by the window, a fresh journal page spread before you, inviting the day's stories to unfold upon its surface. The night falls slowly, its embrace both soft and inevitable, weaving its way through the town until it meets you here in this quiet corner. The stars appear, pinpricks of light in the vast velvet sky, bearing witness to the unspooling of stories. As the night deepens, you close your eyes, surrendering to the gentle pull of sleep. Wrapped in the warm glow of contentment, you drift into dreams where laughter and hope intermingle, nourished by the day's gentle touch. And as sleep carries you into the weaving tapestry of tomorrows, you are gently reminded that each new dawn arrives with its own quiet insistence on light. With the gentle insistence of a new dawn, the world rouses itself from the depths of night, drawing you into the soft embrace of morning light. It spills across your room in delicate threads, each beam weaving its way through the air like whispered promises of the day to come. You rise from the warmth of your bed, savoring the fleeting moments of tranquility before the rhythm of life sweeps you into its dance once more. The act of dressing in the familiar plague doctor garb has become a quiet meditation, each layer a grounding presence as you prepare to step into the world beyond your door. The bird mask awaits its place by your side, a steadfast companion whose silent gaze offers reassurance amidst the unpredictability of the day. It's a ritual now, akin to stretching before a journey, preparing both body and mind for the tasks ahead. As you step outside, you're greeted by the town's morning symphony, the chirping of birds, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the beginnings of daily chatter as people start their routines. The air is cool and fresh against your skin, a brisk reminder of the world's daily renewal. It's a moment of shared breath, an unspoken camaraderie with your surroundings as you move through the cobblestone streets. Today's journey takes you to a small farmhouse on the outskirts of town, where the land stretches out wide and endless, its fields whispering secrets of dreams sown and harvested. The path to the door is lined with flowers that nod gracefully in the breeze, their colors vivid against the lush green backdrop. It's a scene that welcomes you warmly, like walking into the embrace of an old friend. Inside, a family gathers around the hearth, their faces bright with anticipation and a touch of worry. Their youngest, a child with eyes wide and curious, has been under the weather, a small fever casting a shadow over their usual bustle. You kneel to meet his gaze, speaking softly, reassuringly, as if casting a gentle spell of calm. Your experience tells you the solution is simple, a mixture of elderflower and lemon balm, simmered gently to chase away the illness and soothe restlessness. As you prepare the remedy, the child watches with rapt attention, eyes following your every move as though witnessing magic. It's a humbling reminder of the wonder found in everyday acts of care and kindness. As the day unfolds, you linger with the family, sharing stories and laughter that ripple through the room like warm sunlight. Each tale is a thread, each smile a knot, tying you closer to this tapestry of humanity. It's these connections that form the heart of your work. Each interaction, a small but meaningful contribution to the fabric of community life. As you make your way back toward town, the afternoon sun kisses your skin, casting a golden glow across the landscape. It's a transition time, the world shifting gears as the day begins its gentle descent toward evening. You pause along the riverbanks, watching the water flow in time with the earth's rhythm, a serene reminder of the constancy amidst change. Historians often debate the legacy of those like you, figures who straddled the line between myth and medicine. Did their efforts truly shape history, or were they merely shadows dancing in the lantern light of human experience? While scholars ponder the bigger picture, here amidst the quiet march of days, your impact feels tangible, woven into the lives you touch. Back in the heart of town, the market is winding down, vendors packing their goods with the satisfaction of a day's work well done. You share brief nods and smiles with those you pass, each a silent acknowledgement of shared endeavors. Like players in a chamber music ensemble, each note reinforcing the harmony of the whole. Home beckons, a haven from the bustle of the day. You step through the threshold into the familiar embrace of your abode, the sense of peace a balm to your senses. The herbal scents fill the air, mingling with the glow of twilight seeping through the window, wrapping around you in a soothing embrace. As night descends, you settle into your chair, journal open and waiting. The stories of the day spill forth, ink flowing across the page. Each entry a testament to resilience, each observation a small ode to the quiet beauty of service and connection. It's a ritual that closes the day with intentionality, a way to capture its essence before drifting into the realm of dreams. The stars overhead twinkle with quiet brilliance, a canopy of light guiding you toward rest. The night's lullaby hums around you, soft and insistent, encouraging surrender to its tender embrace. You close your eyes, breathing deeply as sleep settles kindly over you, cocooned in the knowledge that with each dawn, another day will unfold, ripe with possibility and the promise of renewal.